This is Michael Medado. Medado is a law graduate from the University of the Philippines. He passed the bar examinations in 1979 and took the attorney's oath at the PICC in 1980. Medado was scheduled to sign the roll of attorneys on May 13, 1980, but he failed to do so, allegedly because he had misplaced the notice to sign the roll of attorneys when he went home to his province. Several years later, Medado found the notice to sign the roll of attorneys. It was only then he realized he had not signed on the roll. What he probably signed at the PICC was an attendance record. By that time, he was already working in the corporate and taxation field. He thought that since he had already taken the oath, the signing of the roll of attorneys was not urgent or crucial to his status as a lawyer. Eventually, he forgot about it. In 2005, Medado attended mandatory continuing legal education seminars where he was required to provide his roll number. Since he did not sign on the roll, he was not able to provide one. About 7 years later, or on February 6, 2012, Medado filed the instant petition praying that he be allowed to sign in the roll of attorneys. The Office of the Bar Confidant recommended that the instant petition be denied for Medado's gross negligence, gross misconduct, and utter lack of merit. Should Michael Medado be allowed to sign on the roll of attorneys? The court ruled in the affirmative. Not allowing Medado to sign in the roll of attorneys would be akin to imposing upon him the ultimate penalty of disbarment, a penalty that the court has reserved for the most serious ethical transgressions of members of the bar. In this case, the records do not show that this action is warranted. For one, Medado demonstrated good faith and good moral character when he finally filed the instant petition to sign in the roll of attorneys. The court notes that it was not a third party who called the court's attention to Medado's omission. Rather, it was Medado himself who acknowledged his own lapse, albeit after the passage of more than 30 years. For another, Medado has not been subject to any action for disqualification from the practice of law, which is more than what the court can say of other individuals who were successfully admitted as members of the Philippine Bar. Finally, Medado appears to have been a competent and able legal practitioner, having held various positions at the Laurel Law Office, Petron, Petrophil Corporation, the Philippine National Oil Company, and the Energy Development Corporation. All these demonstrate Medado's worth to become a full-fledged member of the Philippine Bar. While the practice of law is not a right but a privilege, the court will not unwarrantedly withhold this privilege from individuals who have shown mental fitness and moral fiber to withstand the rigors of the profession. That said, however, the court cannot fully exculpate Medado from all liability for his years of inaction. Medado may have at first operated under an honest mistake of fact when he thought that what he had signed at the PICC entrance before the oath-taking was already the roll of attorneys. However, the moment he realized that what he had signed was merely an attendance record, he could no longer claim an honest mistake of fact as a valid justification. At that point, Medado should have known that he was not a full-fledged member of the Philippine Bar because of his failure to sign in the roll of attorneys, as it was the act of signing therein that would have made him so. When, in spite of this knowledge, he chose to continue practicing law without taking the necessary steps to complete all the requirements for admission to the bar, he willfully engaged in the unauthorized practice of law. For his transgression of the prohibition against the unauthorized practice of law, the court likewise sees it fit to fine him in the amount of 32,000 pesos. During the 1-year period, Medado is warned that he is not allowed to engage in the practice of law and is sternly warned that doing any act that constitutes practice of law before he has signed in the roll of attorneys will be dealt with severely by the court.